Okay, this is question 7 from section 9.1. It says the graph shows the height of a stack of cubes in relation to the number of cubes. So there's a picture of the cube. Of course, it's not drawn to scale. It's 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. And that's the cube. So it's the stack of these cubes. So on our graph here, we have number of cubes as being our x-axis labeled C for cubes. And on our y-axis, it's now labeled H for the height of the stack, and it's in centimeter units. It's important that you put those units there. It's in centimeter units. So it says describe the pattern of the graph. Does the graph show a linear relation? Well, for every 1 cube, if I look here, for every 1 cube, it goes up 2 centimeters. So there's 1 cube, 2 centimeters, 1 cube, 2 centimeters. So that's the information I can see, or that's a pattern I can see on the graph. It also does form a straight line. If I connected those dots, it would be a straight line. And it kind of has this staircase look to it if I was to kind of go to the vertices of all the points there. Question B says, make a table of values for the graph. So I'll go in and get my handy dandy table of values button right here, and I'll kind of make it, let's choose that many. And I will say, okay, what am I going to label this table of values? So here again, I have my x-axis, or my c-axis this time. It's labeled number of cubes, 1, 2, 3. So that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to call this one the number, one of these days I'll remember to get the pen. Number of cubes. And over here, I'm going to go the height. I'm going to height of the cubes, I guess that's understood, and it's in centimeters. Now what variables do we use for number of cubes? Well, right over here, it's the variable c. This is going to be my label c, and the variable we use for this is h. So this is my c column and my h column. So the number of column, the first, or the number of cubes, the first thing is given is 1 cube, so I put my 1 in here. And how high is it? Well, I follow it up here, and I see it's 2 centimeters tall. For 2, I have 4 centimeters, and for 3, I have 6 centimeters tall. Exciting, riveting stuff. It says, question C, is it reasonable to include a point for C equals 2.5? Is it reasonable that I would have 2.5 here? Well, is it reasonable that I would have 2.5 cubes? Well, it depends on what we're dealing with. If we're dealing in school, would I have a half a cube? The answer is no, I definitely would not. But if the cubes are, I don't know, cubes of cheese, well, maybe your Uncle Leo was over and he ate half a bite of one of the cubes of cheese, and maybe it would be reasonable that you were going to include that in the stack of cubes. It depends on how you work it out logically. If it was, it would be 5 centimeters high, the stack of cheese cubes, thanks to Uncle Leo. So probably no, it's not reasonable.